you. So we are here today to breathe life into a community that shares an interest in Australia contributing to a healthy internet policy ecosystem. And for many of us who share a really deep passion to ensure the internet remains open, stable and secure. In terms of what we want to get through today, we have jam-packed the program. We're already running over time, so that's a good start to the day. I will spend a little bit of time talking about why NetThing, what the reason for NetThing is, talk a bit about the program and today's logistics, of course, hopefully share some ambitions and inspiration along the way, and then mention and talk briefly about how you can participate and get engaged today. But how we got to be here, some of you have participated in the past in the Australian Internet Governance Forum or the AUIGF. Can I have a quick show of hands? Who's been to an AUIGF? Okay, so we've got about a third of the audience. But for many of you here, this is new. It's new for me as well. No one person, company, organisation or government runs the internet, whether internationally or here in Australia. It's a conglomeration of different communications infrastructures, computing hubs, technical standards and products and services, each area of responsibility governed by different entities and decision-making bodies. The technical and policy decisions taken in one area can have far-reaching consequences, and so communication between the diversity of internet governance stakeholders and decision-makers is really critical. For many of us, we rely on the internet for almost everything we do, so we need a coalition, a community of people, a community of organisations and a community of countries that advocate for an open, stable and secure internet. We have a long history here in Australia on the internet, and at different times and venues we've shown a real leadership role at the global internet governance level. From a multi-stakeholder point of view, we have a well-established non-government civil society sector. The private sector has been active in the creation and response of important policy responses. Our government has been forward-thinking on many fronts with internet policy issues, and the technical and academic community have created enormous value across every area it touches. We're hoping today that NetThing brings these voices together. The Global Internet Forum, Governance Forum, or IGF, for those of us that are new to this, has been going for more than 15 years. And whilst it came out of the UN, it's unique in that it's not a top-down decision-making forum. It's a multi-stakeholder platform where everyone is on an equal footing, everyone can speak and be heard, and where people can discuss before taking decisions. With more than 80 governance initiatives, the IGF has become a movement that works domestically, regionally and globally. In particular, can I mention our counterpart, NetThing, in New Zealand, and welcome Jordan Carter, the CEO of Internet NZ. In working to reboot this Australian internet community, we have learned a truckload and have had much needed support from our friends in New Zealand. And honestly, if we can become an inkling of what they've established across the Tasman, we will do well. I'm very sorry about the rugby. I can't believe it. And so today we rebirth the Australian Initiative, and how perfectly aligned when we consider that 2019 is the 30th anniversary of the Australian Internet, and tomorrow, depending on whose history you believe, and Google is American, tomorrow marks the day in October 1969 when two computers connected via IP and sent a message to each other. 50 years. So happy birthday Global Internet, happy birthday Australian Internet, and happy first birthday to NetThing. Today, as we breathe life into NetThing, we ask each and every one of you to join with us, to iterate and to collaborate towards the vision. Apart from getting to hang out with some interesting people, consider your day an opportunity to contribute and collaborate upon what we've just barely started. Today's program, I just wanted to talk through quickly, and of course my dear colleague sent me some notes and they're on my phone. So This is our program. It's jam-packed, so we really hope we get through it all. We'll start this morning slightly different, no keynotes, but a very warm welcome from Ian Peter and Dr. Tobias Feeken, who's the Cyber Affairs Ambassador from Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and Ian Peter, who is a long-term IGF collaborator and internet historian. At that point, that'll be a couple of minutes. I'm going to stop everybody. I'll get you to stand up, have a breather while we bring the plenary down. I'm running over. I've just got the warning, but I'm running over. At the same time, during the plenary, we'll be holding a workshop. So everything today is in here, and if it's not in here, it's in that kind of Star Trek meets United Nations room that's just out there. So we'll have a couple of dual sessions that we'll run. At 11:30, we'll break... Is that right? 11:30? Got that right? And then we've got a bunch of... we've got a security panel in here, and then we've got an international workshop running next door. And then that's the next slide. I have to go to the next slide, sorry. And then we've got a break at lunchtime. So we've got lunch out here in the cafe. There are vouchers, and I think, Bron, we've set it up near the registration desk. Is that where the lunch boxes will be? Yes? Excellent. Okay. We've got plenty of time to kind of break, but quite a few of us, and we need to get back in here. If I can get you to come in at least 5 or 10 minutes before the end of lunch, and we can get going for the afternoon session, of which we have 2 really juicy sessions, Are We Humans or Data? And I've helped coordinate that one, but I am actually running the workshop on the right, so I think I've created an awesome competitor to my workshop, but my workshop's going to be really fun. And if there's anyone in this room that wants to help, wants to join NetThing's steering committee, join our organising committee, you know what it's like out there. Most of you volunteer for stuff. If without the volunteers, it doesn't happen. So that's my workshop. It's hot. But Erin Turner from Choice is going to be running a very juicy session at the same time. Then we're going to try something quite different with the IGF engagement and action with the cyber norms session. That will be done in here, a break. We've got the ending with the future, which will be, again, another juicy topic. And then this afternoon, we'll bring everybody back here for some 360 reflections and some next steps. I hope I've done that due service. Some basic logistics. I've talked about the rooms. I've talked about lunch and coffee. This is a conversation today. This is, we didn't want it to be a conference. We don't want it to be an event. We want it to be a gathering. It's a start of something new, and we want as much participation, I suppose, is the way to get that going. In terms of capturing and reporting, we are really lucky in that we will video record every session. They'll be made available on a YouTube channel at some point in the future. We are live streaming, but it only happened about 40 minutes ago, so we haven't really told anyone. That was a last minute from one of our awesome sponsors, so we are live streaming it. Nasaba, our communications partner, are providing in-kind capturing today, and Nasaba will be on social at Nasaba_live, doing live tweeting. The hashtag is NetThing with a double T. And lastly, these awesome, but on a tight budget for a volunteer event in bulk, 25 of them, $7 each at the reject shop. We are your volunteers, and you'll see people wearing pink. You can ask us anything if you need help. Pardon? It's not my choice. It's not. I tried to be a collaborative chair, but then I just made a decision. Right, what's on our walls? They were on our walls. We wanted lots of co-creation and collaboration today, and the UTS made us take them down because apparently this is a very important building. But there are 3. I don't know what we're going to do with them. Join us. There's a big piece of butcher's paper out there somewhere. If you want to join as a community organiser, your name and email address, we'd love it. And then there's another piece of butcher's paper floating somewhere out there where throughout the course of the day we want to co-create our kind of hot topics. So get any of those up on post-its and we'll theme them up and report back at the end of the day. Okay, nearly there. This is our first. So some things aren't going to work. We're trying some different formats with the sessions. Some things will break. The technology is likely to break, given we're all from the internet community. So bear with us. There is a piece of butcher's paper as well, which is probably the most important for us on the committee, and that is to give us feedback about how we could do this better next year. So we would really love some feedback. Thank you. And almost lastly, the sponsors. If I'm really honest, this took we nearly stopped in February because we couldn't find anyone to partner with us. And then once we got one or two on, the rest came. So I just want to stop for a moment. Normally we whip through these slides really quickly, but I really want to stop and acknowledge how much help and support that we've had from our sponsors and partners. In particular, the fellowships with Linux, ICANN and ISOC. There are at least 10 people that have been fully funded to be here today, which is really important in terms of diversity and inclusion. And we've been able to fund and help another 10 to get here today. So thank you to all of our partners and supporters. And one last one, this is the backbone. This has been going for 2 years. Someone asked me a couple of years ago to chair this thing and said, well, I thought it would take 2 months. It's been 2 years, and these people have been here for the whole ride. Can I in particular point out DFAT, who brought 5 organisations together about 2 years ago off the back of when the AUIGF had stopped, and these organisations said we need to continue this, let's find a way. So I really want to say thank you very much to all of those folks. Enjoy, stay curious, get involved, and on that note, can I please welcome to the stage Ian Peter and Dr. Tobias Feakin.